Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another leg of the Hong Kong Sevens, and we're here for the playoff game. This one to determine who will finish ninth in the competition. Now, as you can see there, Argentina, the side who are at the top of the bunch in terms of the overall rankings for this circuit, are playing off for this ninth place, whereas Samoa, they have only pulled off the one win out of their 4 contests. That was up against Great Britain to confirm their spot here. These two sides have had some close fixtures in the past. I feel like this one will be no different. Looking through at the starting lineup for the Samoans, it will be Pauleti Slater, Iona Sioni, Noeli Letufia, Fa'afoi Falaniko, Pisi Lelua, and also BJ Lima, Daniel Palete, or Patalesio, I should say. Managed to get himself a try in the last match. Then for Argentina, Santiago Mare, Luciano Gonzalez, Germain Schultz, Jacqueline Palandini, Matthias Azutsuk, Tobias Wade, and Rodrigo Isgro. And they are just about to kick off. Argentina going to be going from left to right here. This is the final fixture for both of these sides in Hong Kong. I wonder if Hamish is sleeping. Says, no, Mum, I am not. No, I'm here doing the match. We were a little bit late, but to be fair, this game kicks off pretty much directly on close to the time that we are starting, so that is why I was rushing those lineups, but we are now ready to go. Santiago Mare to kick this one off from left to right, and we're going to get this game underway. Slapped back by Argentina, nicely claimed by Luciano Gonzalez. Now they're talking about, of course, Marcos Moneta not being available with a fractured tibula, I believe it was. That means he will be out for the rest of the Sevens circuit, and to be honest, that is a massive hit for Argentina and may just be the difference between them winning or losing in the playoffs in Madrid. Kick downfield from Samoa. A little bit of a different tactic here. Try to push Argentina back. Palandini. Looked like for a second he was going to return fire with a kick of his own, but instead goes across to Rodrigo Isgro. Now to Germain Schultz. A little bit of a handling error there from Santiago Mare. Gets it across to Luciano Gonzalez, who now cars his way through the middle, but has been stopped by Dan Patalesio. Like I mentioned, got himself a try in the last game. Now back across Argentina, they were able to pull off the 21-0 win over the Canadians in their last game. That is a gap that's opening up. Germain Schultz, lobby pass, beautiful hands from Rodrigo Isgro. That's the type of play we expect to see from the Pumas. And they have scored the first try in this 9th place playoff game. And I have to say, out of these two sides, in terms of who these points are more valuable for, it's got to be Samoa. They are in the relegation zone. The system that they have in Madrid is the bottom 4 sides face the top 4 sides of the Challenger Series, and it is not even the top challenger goes up and the bottom side goes down. There is a chance that if results go the way that they could, we could see 4 new sides on the Sevens circuit, which is massive. And Hamish, are you going to cover all the semis and finals? Says Kevin Layla, that is the plan. We have got them scheduled on the channel already. I believe that first final for the semis is going to be taking place at 5:40 a.m. or sorry, 5:40 p.m. New Zealand time. Ball has been lost. Argentina back in possession again. Mare goes off to Matthias Azutsuk. Samoa only touching the ball once so far here, and that was to kick it downfield to give it back to Argentina. 5 minutes remaining at the moment in this half. Of course, we've got some great games coming up later on tonight, including Fiji versus South Africa. That will be an entertaining playoff. On the women's side of the draw, we're not covering it, but New Zealand versus Australia taking place, and that is exactly the same as the men's. It's going to be New Zealand versus Australia in one semi, and then France versus Ireland in the other. Palandini going across now to Rodrigo Isgro. Dragged down well. Now back across Santiago Mare. Goes one more to Azutsuk. Almost lost his footing. Did he do it on purpose or did he mistake his footing there? Either way, he scored the try. So he could say it was a little bit on purpose. You know, the accidental trip and then go. Another great try from Argentina. Yeah, he just kind of slips over. And then from there, that actually helped him get through the gap because Patalesio was like, okay, if he's falling over, he's surely going to pass this. Gets back up, regathers his centre of gravity, and manages to score it. Now the score 14-0 for Argentina. This is a much better performance from Los Pumas than we have seen throughout the rest of their pool stages. But the other side of things is this a much worse Samoa performance than they have faced in the pools. I mean, Argentina, they had some tough games up against the USA. Are going to be playing off for 7th place up against the Spanish. We saw them lose to New Zealand 22-0, who have made their way through to the semi-finals. So all the sides that they lost to have gone further than Argentina. They had a close game with Team GB, though. They did manage to beat them. One's going to be kicked out on the full from Rodrigo Isgro. It looks like Samoa are calling for a scrum. They just need some possession here throughout this first half. Give them half a sniff of a try before half time. And then maybe they've got a decent chance heading into the second half. But at the moment, I would say they're massive underdogs, and probably rightfully so. But they've had some good moments throughout this competition. I feel like most of these sides have. Now Letufia spinning off to this left-hand side. Samoa with a bit of space. It's a rough pass there from Patalacio. It was round the bootlaces. Now, yeah, Paulette Slater giving him a handful there. An absolute serving, saying, hey, how about you put it a little bit higher so I can actually catch the ball? They're just showing their Samoa. They are in 11th. If they can have a big last leg, though, theoretically, they could actually boost ahead of quite a few sides. Of course, you get 20 points for winning. It's fast guy Manila playing. He is not, no. He's got a fractured tibula, I think it is. So he is going to be out for the rest of the series, which is a massive hit for Argentina, because without him, you lose half of that speed out on the wing. And don't get me wrong, like the rest of the side have more than enough capabilities. Nice wide cut out pass there to Rodrigo Isgro. A big man should not be able to score a try like that, but he just has, unless he's knocked it on. They just want to have a look at this one. The on-field decision is try Isgro with the fancy footwork down the wing. Does he get it down? Yep. Certainly does. Fantastic try for Rodrigo Isgro. Argentina are up 19 points to 0. Now, my prediction for this game was a mile off. I think I was being optimistic, but I said that they'd be 12-all at full time, and then they'd go to golden point, where Argentina would win 19 points to 12. Now, there is still a chance of that scoreline, minus, of course, that golden point. But yeah, for Samoa, yeah, it's just fallen apart. And for Argentina, something's clicked compared to some of their other games. That kick was also successful, so that makes 21 points on the board for Argentina, and still 40 seconds remaining in this first half. About as good as it gets. It's the full-time score of their last game up against Canada. Now it's going to be kicked off high again by Argentina. Samoa lining up that one with the BJ Lima. 20 seconds left, or in fact, it's going to be turned over again from Luciano Gonzalez. Just locks over the ball. Looks like Lima may have had a bit of a rib injury there, but he has got back to his feet. And it also looks like Argentina are going to be opting for the scrum after winning that penalty. They're just going to be relentless. Keep the pressure on and not allow Samoa any sort of breathing room. If anyone wondering, of course, with what we have got coming up later on in the Sevens at halftime, we will run through exactly what games we are covering so that you know who to watch out for and the upcoming fixtures. But Jermaine Schultz looking to find his way through. Just a great low tackle made by Letufia. Now back across there. Rush defence from Samoa. Shuts down Palandini. But the offloading game of Argentina is extremely strong. And Isgro is extremely strong too. He's gone through. And it's a hat-trick for him in this game. And he's got it in the first half. This is the type of performance that you expect from one of the experienced players in the side. He's just chilling out at the moment, even though it is already halftime. So it means that they weren't going to take any time off the clock. Possible, could you cover the Black Ferns? Says Kevin. We haven't quite been organised, unfortunately, and we haven't actually got anything prepared for that game. I know that they are taking on Australia, aren't they? But I think that game is only in about an hour or so, and I have nothing scheduled. Yeah, 5:17 is when that one's going to be taking place. It is just before Ireland versus France. So if I'm speedy, we might get there. But we were going to be covering the women's final either way. It's just whether or not they do get knocked out before that stage, I guess, is the bit of a concern. Not the type you would expect from Samoa. Says that Naz Williams. Nah, it's been a lackluster performance from Samoa again here. And it seems to happen week in, week out. And I know that, like, I try and show optimism for them. And I say, yeah, they'll be right. They'll come back into it. But it has become the real trend of lose narrowly in your group stage and then either get 9th or get 11th or get 12th. And then that's about it. You go on to the next week. It's been a very long time since we've seen the Samoans reach the semi-finals. But then saying that, when you look at their player pool and the players who have left them, you can understand why. They don't have Mataval. They don't have Va'a Pilomaleko. No Valvasa Pasua. No, I think Paul Scanlon's missing as well at the moment. They have got a big list, so you got to feel for them a little bit. And not the type you would expect from Samoa, says Naz Williams. But the next game that we have got theoretically was going to be that matchup between Ireland and France. That is at 5:40 p.m. New Zealand time. But we may try and do New Zealand versus Australia in the women's beforehand. And then the game after that is Australia versus New Zealand in the men's. And then we are also doing Fiji versus South Africa in the men's as well. That is at 7 p.m, that last game that I mentioned. And then it will be the Cup finals at 10:13 and also 10:53. These are all New Zealand time, of course, with daylight saving as well. That's taking place. I don't know, maybe Portugal land and Georgia will come up to the main comp, says Hanoi. It's hard to say who's going to be those sides that actually get pushed up. At the moment, it seems like the most likely contenders, I believe, are Uruguay, Kenya, Germany, and there was another team that are currently in that top 4 of the next one. Might have been, no, I don't think it was Papua New Guinea. But I think they've still got a couple leagues left of the Challenger Series. And now, 7 minutes remaining in this contest, and Argentina currently are sitting 28-0 up over Samoa this game. Getting a lot more one-sided as the minutes pass by. Luciano Gonzalez trying to put in the big fend. Matthias Wade back across here again. Tobias Wade rather than Matthias. Matthias Atatsuk. Waiting for this one. Drop ball from Rodriguez. I think he was looking up before he had that one in his control. He was more excited about being able to put that ball down over the try line again. Samoa have a chance here. I don't think they can go on to win this game, but they can at least go on to put a decent showing in. 28 points to 21 or something along those lines. Like, it's disappointing to lose, but it doesn't look as bad as it does currently, with the score sitting 28-0 in favour of Los Pumas. 6 minutes now. That one's going to go in. Nicely claimed by Samoa with Niueli Letufia. But something I've noticed for Samoa here throughout the last couple of leagues of the Sevens, and I mean this in the most respectful way possible, they just aren't as fast on a break as other sides. And it's purely based on the players that they've got. Unfortunately, no one has that electric pace anymore that we saw from Va'a Pilomaleko. Because when that man was through a gap, he was gone. And we're even going to see it here. Patalacio trying to chase down the big man, number 4, Graziano, who just offloads it to Germain Schultz. And it's another try for Argentina. But, yeah, there's a real lack of pure pace for Samoa at the moment. And I feel like that is something that they need to try and fix in the next couple of leagues of the Sevens. Definitely with the Olympics around the corner, you need strength. They've got that. Whether that's Yunasioni, whether it is Fa'afoi Falaniko, BJ Lima, all those blokes. They've got the power. They just need a bit of extra speed with them. Conversion is good. Score is 28-0 now in favour of Argentina. Now it's going to be kicked off from the halfway line by Gaston Ravol. I think this is going to be maybe close to the most one-sided game we have seen throughout the whole Sevens circuit already. Or the whole Sevens leg in Hong Kong, I should say. Another knock on there from Yunasioni. And it's just every time Samoa cannot hold the ball. Altanana just saying it there as well. Like, all the experienced players are dropping the ball as well. It's not just those young guys. And vamos, Akarajo says Amati there. Welcome in, mate. 4 minutes remaining. And Argentina are up 35 points to 0. I think the referee just got his foot stood on by Gaston Ravol. Now back across. Murray. Nice work. Charging forward here for Argentina. Gaston Ravol again goes across to Graziano. And even without Marcos Maneta in this game, they have been clearly above the Samoans. Oh, there's a penalty. Or is there? No, it's a player stoppage here. Oh, okay. There's actually going to be a neck roll, I think, in the breakdown. Okay, it's going to be a yellow card for one of the Argentines for a neck roll here. And that is against 23. Oh, referee got the red card out and then he went, oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, you meant to get it a yellow. La Torre. Yeah, he ends up giving him the DDT in the end there. Be another scrum. And Ahoy says, Ivan, welcome in, mate. And Corojo. It's pronounced Carajo. Carajo, is that how you say it? Carajo? So it's with an H rather than a J. Currently 35-0 at the moment. Now Letufia breaking off the back here for Samoa. This is their chance with a man advantage to try and really break through Masifal. Great low tackle made by Tobias Wade. But we've got to remember as well, like, the players that Argentina have as well, they are very good defensively. They don't leave gaps often. Even in this case, there were 2 line break opportunities there for the Samoans, and they still couldn't quite get through that last tackle attempt of Argentina. You can see why they are first on the overall standings, because they have that hustle and it's a knock-on out wide for Samoa. It was an open running try, and now they're going to go down the other end of the field. And Argentina are going to try and counter-attack and get themselves a try of their own. That tackle was too high. And it's going to be, by the looks of it, a yellow card, is it? The ref was reaching to his pocket. We see Yunasioni getting angry at one of his teammates, but I don't know whether the ref actually gave him a yellow for that one in the end. Carajo. There's the high shot. Yeah, head on head. That'll be why it was a yellow card for the Samoans. That was Levy, who has now made his way from the field. So any advantage Samoa had, they just decided to get rid of by getting themselves carded again. This has to be frustrating as a Samoan supporter. Like, everything that could go wrong in their games goes wrong. Manu Samoa, all nerves, is the worst team for Samoan Sevens, says Herman. Yeah, it's going to take a while for them to find their feet, isn't it? Very good. Out of curiosity, how would I say your name? Because, like, I really have no clue, to be honest. So, yeah, do let me know what the pronunciation of your name would be. Because I never say your name, mainly because I know that I would butcher it if I tried it. So, yeah, do let me know. Oh, ball's come out the side. Now, Letufia, he's knocked it on again. Although he was offside as well, so the penalty goes against the Samoans. Argentina now with another kick towards the touchline available here. have opted to go for the scrum, and they return to the full 7 men on the field now. Referee just turning off the time. Set the scrum. Like I mentioned, the next game that we have got is taking place in about an hour and 40 minutes time, although we might end up covering that New Zealand versus Australia game for the women's semi-finals first. That will be at around 5:15, which is in an hour and 15 minutes time, ladies and gentlemen. Now Gaston Ravol put this ball in. It's going to work out nicely for Argentina with 60 seconds left on the clock. The flat pass going to Tobias Wade, trying to bust his way through. Oh, that was almost a tip tackle there from Letoufe. You got to be careful doing that. Definitely when you've already got a yellow card for ill discipline. Nice step there. The man who did just come back from the sin bin, Latorre. Now Ravol. They've got numbers on the left-hand side here. Argentina, inside ball. That was poor defence from Samoa. Everyone drifted with the inside ball. The gap opened up and Agustin Fraha gets another try. I believe the most one-sided game we have had throughout the 7 so far was 45 points to 5 in favour of the Fijians over the Canadians. They are 1 try away from making it more than that. And Moana Pacifica, says Ivan. But Gaston Ravol now, 1,000 points for that man. So a massive achievement for him. Does get the support from his teammates. He is now the 2nd Argentine ever to reach that number. Gomez Cora, the only other man that is the coach. And then Luciano Gonzalez, he's actually 3rd on that list, and he doesn't take the kick, so that just tells you how many tries that man has scored throughout his career, sitting on 710 points, but that is going to be half-time, that is going to be full-time in this contest. It bounced into touch, and that is going to end this contest 42 points to 0 in favour of Argentina. It certainly wasn't close. We were hoping it would be, but you don't get that all the time with 7. Sometimes a game is a lot more one-sided than anticipated, but this has been a very good game for Los Pumas and a big confidence booster before they head into the next leg of the 7th circuit, which will be taking place in early May, and we are going to be, of course, covering it on the channel as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be back for another game of the 7s very shortly, so be sure to keep an eye out for that one, and I will see you all for the next one.